Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It is February 12th, 2025. My name is Ango. I'm joined by Billy TKO. And we are live with the Ango Show. What a freaking night, Billy.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
I mean, talk about with the quickness.
Literally, nobody saw it coming yesterday.
No.
Nobody saw it coming yesterday.
Whoa.
And I'm ready to talk about it, bro.
Me too. Man.
I'm ready to talk about it. We're not gonna act like we don't know what we're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, Ricky Starks showed the fuck up in I was gonna say
Where did he show up? Where did he show up?
AEW? No, Tony Khan doesn't do that.
Know how to do that?
Tony Khan don't know how to do that. No. He didn't show up in AEW. What
No.
No, ladies and gentlemen, Ricky Starks showed up in NXT and literally shocked the world. There is a problem that I have with it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it because I probably have the same exact problem that you're talking about.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of has the same problem. Yeah. I don't give a shit, though. I love it.
I don't either, but we need to figure this out.
Yeah, there's something to figure out here. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a super chat goal of 10. So if you guys want to help us out, super chats guarantee that your questions get read on the stream. I promise you, I have a lot to say in the stream. I'm sure me and Billy are going to probably argue a little bit here. I don't know. Maybe it sounds like we could be trending towards that potential possibility.
Oh yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, support the show with a super chat. We actually got a super chat to kick us off today. So let's read that really quick. Where is it? Phil Batway. Why isn't it letting me pull it up? That's kind of odd. But I see it.
Phil.
Shout out to Phil. He says, who do you guys think Ricky Stark's first feud in NXT will be? Well, Billy, who do you think?
Skyrocket him. Get Obafemi.
Oof.
No, I think it's actually going to be the North American Championship. Tony.
That's not a bad way to introduce him.
No, I think he'll skyrocket up the ranks pretty quickly.
You got to hot shot him.
Yeah, hot shot him. Give him the North American Championship.
You gotta treat Ethan Page style. You gotta do it the Ethan Page way. You gotta show up and show love. And dude, holy shit! I cannot believe that Ricky Stark showed up in NXT.
Yeah, bro, me either. I'm shocked. I was grocery shopping and you texted me, and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
I was fully convinced Vengeance Day was the day.
I was convinced we were going to wait more than 24 hours.
Yeah, it happened in less than 24 hours, which, by the way, let's just be very, very clear. NXT was already a good episode up until that point, but that just literally changed the whole game for NXT.
For sure.
The super chats are rolling in. Shout out to Phil Batway to kick us off. D the driver dropping 5. He says, people complaining about Ricky showing up on an NXT show. They did that to get more eyes for Vengeance Day. You know, it's funny. This seems to be the common
trend.
This seems to be the common trend. When somebody leaves AEW and goes to WWE, it's like, hey, they go to NXT and it's a complete failure. Billy, what is your response to that?
My response is you sound like a dumbass. My thought about that is, dude, NXT is trending upwards, and if this isn't like a good initial sign of that, then hey, I don't know what is. NXT is doing really well for themselves. This is just more of an incentive for people to now watch NXT, right? So they already had eyes on them. You could tell through whatever you wanted to, however you watched them. You could look at the Twitter numbers, you could look at the cable numbers, whatever. They were trending upwards. NXT is bound to be great. WWE wants it to be viewed as a third brand rather than just the C show.
Yeah.
So to make that a third brand, you have to continuously do things like bring in hot free agents, right? You can't just shoot them all up to the main roster right away. And technically, I mean, if they're looking at NXT as a third brand, technically NXT would be considered, quote unquote, the main roster.
You're getting a little too technical and a little too much. I think the answer is very simple. For those people that are mad that Ricky Stark showed up in NXT, go fuck yourselves, because NXT is literally whooping AEW's ass.
This guy.
No, I'm tired of this. I'm not gonna sit here and act like we're just going to ignore the elephant in the room. AEW Dynamite is not on the fucking level of NXT. I'm not talking about the creative. I'm not talking about that because you could sit there and argue that you fucking like creative for both shows, no shows, whatever. It doesn't matter. But frankly, what we could talk about is that NXT has more momentum in 2025 than AEW. This happened because in 2024, NXT was building more momentum than AEW. We have literally got to the point where people are trying to act dumb and try to act like that's not the case. We could call it developmental. We could call it the third brand. We could call it the main roster. We can call it fucking absolutely nothing. It doesn't need a label. It doesn't need a title. What we need to call it is a show that is whooping AEW's ass. If that offends you, you hate statistics. You can hate statistics, but you know what you can't hate? You can't hate when the statistics are proving me true, proving me right. That is exactly what is happening here. Ricky Starks going to NXT is not a problem. Ricky Starks going to NXT not being used, not being over, not being booked, that would be a problem.
Yeah.
But we are not going to act like him showing up in NXT
is a huge
derails anything.
No, it doesn't derail his momentum or anything.
What momentum did he have in AEW, Billy?
He had none.
He exposed Adam Copeland. They got rid of him off TV.
Yeah, he did expose the shit out of him.
Ooh, that really sent me over the edge. Tony Khan fumbled Ricky Starks. Tony Khan fumbles every single person in his company. There is very few people in AEW who have truly been booked incredibly well. Very few. Very few. So I'm not going to sit here and act like NXT is not the move. I'm just being honest. I'm being extremely honest. We're not acting like NXT isn't the move. You don't have to like NXT booking. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like the show. But we're not going to act like
they're doing.
We're not going to act like they're not doing anything, because the reality is NXT is spanking AEW's ass. That's the truth. That there's like actual statistics to back that up. And then what you have is a whole bunch of people that are like, well, it's on free TV. Well, what happened when it was on cable and it was beating their ass? Well, what happened when you guys were on the same night and you fucking literally obliterated NXT to the point that Triple H lost his fucking job?
Damn.
Literally.
Everything is
that's what it was. That's what it was. Vince McMahon obviously punished Triple H when NXT was getting smoked by AEW.
Yeah, they were getting their ass whooped.
So we are literally at the stage. Let's just be very fucking perfectly clear. The statistics prove that I'm right. This is not just some opinion. This is not. I'm not backing up my conversation, my points by saying, oh, I think AEW is better or I think NXT is better. The reality is the nature of what we have seen over time is AEW has gone phew, and NXT has gone meow. That's what we're seeing. So Ricky Starks, that's it. Pete Rock says in the chat, he says, you aren't including Max and TBS viewership. I will not, because they're not making those numbers public. Let's also be very, very fucking clear here, because I know a lot of people don't want to talk about this because this crushes their fucking soul. But the Max streaming numbers, I guarantee you, are very, very, very low. And the reason why I guarantee that it's very, very low is because sports on Max have never been successful. So when they come out and say that AEW is one of the most viewed sports on the Max streaming service, let's just completely understand that Max.
I'm just gonna cut you off real fast. I have to say this. I mean, that's such a hypothetical though, and it's hard to go based off of a hypothetical.
It's not hard to go off of anything. They're not showing you the numbers.
Yeah, no. So regardless, we don't necessarily know. So I think what he's saying, we're not going off those numbers. We just technically can't. There's no hypothetical. We don't know what they're doing. It's just that. There's nothing in between. It's not about what the sports have done before, because none of that shit matters. Hypothetically, you can't necessarily answer that question when there's no factual data to show.
They can sit here and have an article come out and be like, we're happy with the numbers. But I promise you, I know this for a fact. I know this for a fact. My opinion, I'm going to say this as a fact, okay?
Yeah.
I will argue that if AEW is growing on Max, they would be talking about it.
For sure. And that's the thing, right? And again, it's all hypothetical, but you can go based off of some things that just kind of show, right? For instance, that they're not flaunting their numbers. If you look at WWE, everything that they do is consistent when it comes to flaunting their numbers. It's their favorite fucking thing to do. AEW, truth be told, for a long time was that too. They love to flaunt their fucking numbers, and now they're not. So that should just kind of answer your question there within itself. You can say up and down the board, oh yeah, AEW, these numbers, whatever, you're not taking into account. Truth is, we just don't got them. At the end of the day, they're not flaunting the numbers, and that should be enough evidence right there for you that it just doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, if Max numbers were good, bro, they'd be telling you about it.
They tell you.
And there wouldn't be an article coming from a dirt sheet that they're
No, Tony Khan would tweet that shit himself.
Just remember, let's throw this on here. I don't know if you guys can see it.
What is that? I can kind of see.
AEW Dynamite crushes NXT. That was 2019.
There you go, folks. There you have it.
Hashtag way back Wednesday. So this company wouldn't talk about their numbers on Max, really? Because they were talking about their numbers when they were beating WWE.
They were talking hella shit.
So again, those who are complaining about Ricky Starks going to NXT instead of Raw or SmackDown, you just don't understand. That's fine. I'm not asking you guys to understand, but what I am saying is we're not going to spew some bullshit like it's a bad move.
This is where tribalism shines the most.
Fuck tribalism. Who cares?
This is when it shines. I know you say you don't care, but like obviously this is what we have to talk about. You know what I mean? Yeah. Tribalism, truthfully, this is where it shines the most. You see people come out of the woodworks. I had somebody comment on a video of mine being like, what did he say? Oh, Tony Khan didn't fumble. He just wasn't utilized properly. No, motherfucker, he just wasn't utilized. There's a huge difference.
There's a huge difference between not utilizing somebody and fumbling somebody?
No.
Is that what you're telling me?
I'm saying, like, he just didn't use them.
Okay, so that means he fumbled them.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And it's insane to me that this is even a conversation that we have to have.
Brother, Starks was fumbled.
For sure.
Starks was fumbled. Okay?
Yeah, got it.
Not only was he fumbled, many others in AEW have been fumbled and still continue to get fumbled. So the reality is AEW gave WWE an easy layup.
The easiest.
I mean, that's what it is. It's an easy ass layup.
Now, here's a question for you. Do we think that Tony Khan did he do the right thing yesterday? And are we going to sit here and bash him because he did the right thing? Or are we pissed that he held on to him for as long as he did?
The longer he held people back, the more that he gives it easier to WWE.
Okay.
But I'm just glad Ricky Starks got freed. It was very clear. Ricky Starks, you could see he's very happy. You could see the people are happy for him.
Yeah,
Jade Cargill, CM Punk.
That Kendrick Lamar Instagram post told me everything I needed to know.
Yeah. I mean, that confirmed, Ricky Starks was screwed, bro. He was screwed. He was one of those guys. He was absolutely screwed by AEW. This is not supposed to be an AEW bash fest, but at the end of the day, it's pretty disgusting to see that you have talent who you don't want in your company. Obviously you don't want them in your company if you're not using them.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's also even worse when you look at it from a perspective of like, okay, there's this rumor, we'll say rumor, that Ricky Starks didn't want to be there. Well, why would Ricky Starks want to be there when they don't do anything with him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So there's a reason why the morale has shifted, where in WWE, people want to be there, which, by the way, we can't ignore the fact for a very, very, very long time that wasn't the case.
Right. It wasn't. The morale was finally different.
Yeah, TK, just listen. I think TK, biggest mistake, and I said this, and you guys will see this in my news video today, but TK's biggest mistake is, like, even with Phoenix, like, brother, the more that these rumors come out that people are disgruntled in your company and you're holding them hostage practically, like you're not letting them go, which you have the right to.
We shit on Vince for it for many years.
It's not even about that, though. The longer you do that, the more that people will get excited when they eventually show up. And look at social media.
Yeah.
Any person who was a fan of Ricky Starks before in AEW is a fan of Ricky Starks in WWE. For sure. Not because of the company, but because they believed in this guy and that's what they wanted to see. They want to see him on TV.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people. The only people that you see complaining about this Literally, the only people you see complaining about this are the people that have made it very clear it's WWE versus AEW.
Yeah, it's the tribalism.
So that's why I made it very clear. Even my tweet, I was very happy for Ricky Starks. I think he's an unbelievable talent. I have believed he's an unbelievable talent in NWA. There was a reason why I used to talk about him when he was in NWA. I used to think this guy's got WWE written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy thing is, he goes to AEW. Wow, you have something right there.
Yeah.
Right in front of you. And they didn't do anything. So that's a fumble.
Fair.
You dropped the ball. Drop the ball. That's Shout out to D the driver for the super chat. We got plenty more.
Yeah,
channel. Excuse me. Not feeling the greatest, guys, but we're gonna kill it today. I have huge respect for Starks because he is a constant learner of the game. Undertaker and Punk saying positives about him is a sign of this. With the right system, he can improve day by day. Let's go. Yeah. To be honest, he's very, very polished.
Yeah, Undertaker had a lot. I watched that video. Undertaker had a lot of good things to say about him.
He's a very polished performer. And
sure, you've seen him in NWA.
Yeah, he's extremely polished. He's an extremely great worker. He oozes charisma.
The guy's he's a package.
Listen, if you want to know how Tony Khan fumbled him and how AEW dropped the ball with him, honestly, it's just you got to understand that Ricky Starks isn't that indie darling that AEW looks for. He's not the Will Ospreay, the Ricochet. He's not, and to me, that's why it's like, okay, well, you made it very clear what you're looking for. Like,
brother is an entertainer.
He's an entertainer. He's a good performer and a good ring wrestler.
Yes, for sure. But he's an even better entertainer. And
it's just crazy.
Yeah, dude. I love seeing him in NXT. I love it.
Yeah, we got a lot more to get off. I got a lot to get off my chest, by the way. Shout out to Tolino channel. David Primero dropping $1.99. Do you think WWE will change Ricky Stark's name? So
here we go. Let's talk about it.
In the YouTube video, in the tweets, literally in everything, he has not been called Ricky Starks.
Just the absolute one.
The absolute one.
I don't know what the hell you call him. Now, his name's been trademarked.
By him.
Yes, since 2024.
Yeah.
So they could go with his name.
I think they go with his name.
I think so too. I think this is them teasing it a little bit.
I don't think they're teasing anything. I think what I really think happened was he became a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think everything was, I could be wrong, but I don't think every detail was done. Hey, we're bringing you in. We're going to pay you. This is probably what we're thinking. Come to the Performance Center today. We'll figure out the rest. Because when you're dealing with trademarks and shit, that's what I think. I think everything just happened quickly. It happened in less than 24 hours.
It really did. It happened super fast. That's actually a really good way to look at it. It just could have been it takes longer than 24 hours to figure out contracts.
I don't know. I think Ricky Starks, if he has a name change, I swear to God, listen, I'm gonna be real.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care about the name change. I've said this before. This was always my thing. I think it's dumb when you change people's names, 100%. But I don't think the name necessarily makes the person, because when you really think about it, Triple H is a really dumb wrestling name.
Yeah, but
The Rock is a dumb wrestling name. There's a lot of dumb wrestling names out there, but I think it's the person who makes the name. So personally speaking, I don't care if they change his name. I don't think they should, but I don't care if they do.
Right. That's fair. But my thing about it is I think Ricky Starks, he's just built his whole brand essentially off of his name. And again, you make the argument that it's the person. My thought process is just that name holds a lot of value now.
I think they'll call him Ricky Starks.
I agree. I do think the exact same thing.
I don't think he keeps the same music, obviously.
No, I was like listening to the video because, like I said, I was out grocery shopping. I was listening to the video, and like at the end, they started playing that hip hop song, and it was the theme song to NXT.
Yeah,
and I thought it was his music. I was like, "Yo, that shit's fire."
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. I'm wondering what they're going to do with him, but yeah, no, I mean, it's just as simple as contracts take more than 24 hours. So you could have easily had something along the lines where it was a little bit harder to just get everything in order.
Yeah, I think he'll keep his name. If they don't, I think that's silly, but I don't really care if they change it or not. I also think they're going to keep his name because Ethan Page, Jade Cargill.
There's like a lot of names that is just through the it's been a list of them that
their
names.
The only person that I remember changing their name was Sean Spears came back as Sean Spears.
Lexus King is the
Lexus King had a new name, but he didn't want to be known as a Pillman Jr. in WWE.
Right. Exactly.
Which, by the way, Lexus King ended up turning out to be a fucking badass name. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, I'm not worried too much about the name thing, but it does piss me off a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, dude, because it's been just lingering around. I've been seeing it. People have been making note of it. I'm like, geez, I hope they don't change his name.
Yeah, I know, right? Shout out to David Primero for the super chat. Brad Jedi dropping 5. He says, "Do you guys think they're gonna make Ricky Starks change his name since they didn't mention it on NXT?" So wow. This was a duplicate question. So obviously we just answered that. But Brad, what I will say is they probably didn't mention it on NXT because they just genuinely don't know what they're doing. I genuinely believe this was so last minute. Like,
well, they had him come out at such like a random spot too.
They didn't give him an entrance.
Going on, he just walked into the crowd.
Bro, I think that was sick though to do it like that on the entrance.
For sure.
Like to just go, yeah, dude. I don't know. To me, you know, it was funny because we were talking about it in the stream yesterday. I was like, how cool would it be if Ricky, Miro, and Black showed up on SmackDown in the crowd as like the Rascals, like from 2000 or whatever. So like, obviously this isn't the same exact thing, but just coming through the crowd.
He looked grungy too. You have to think about that too. You have to pay attention to the look. Dude looked like he could just beat somebody up at any time. I don't know. The fit says all to me. Revolution's about to be televised, brother.
Oh, dude, he literally cut with his promo. He literally took the thing from Kendrick. Then he posted a picture of Kendrick. I mean, he was literally giving the middle finger to Tony Khan.
Dude, the biggest.
So what I love, I'm only going to address this because I think this is a valid question. So P Rock says, why are you guys making Stark sound like he is an Ospreay or Kenny talent? So Billy, so here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I think this is funny. This is my issue with pro wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But this is why I don't really take comments like this seriously.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen Kenny and Ospreay in AEW.
Yeah.
Have they elevated the AEW product statistically?
No, let's talk about it. No, they have not, because the numbers are what's to show.
Okay. Notice we haven't talked about Ricky and the numbers in NXT.
No, because
we're talking about
the numbers.
We're talking about Ricky as a talent.
Yeah.
This is not apples to apples, because we can argue all day that Ospreay and Kenny are better wrestlers than Ricky. I can argue that Ricky's a bigger star and going to be a bigger star than both of them.
For sure.
I know that's going to offend people, but I think you can make that argument.
I agree. I actually think he's going to be bigger than all of those names.
Ricky is going to be...
I'm here to tell you guys, I'm a huge Ricky Starks fan.
Yeah.
I'll just let that be known. You guys know about my CM Punk fandom. Ricky Starks is like right there next to him.
Yeah. I will say, though, I enjoy the comments. I enjoy the chat. I'm reading the chat. I see many people are under agreement with what we're saying about Ricky and this being a good thing. But for those who are just simply saying that Ricky's going to be a failure, he's mid or whatever it may be.
Somebody's got to be different.
Well, no, here's the thing. If you guys are that bothered, if not even you guys, because there's not very many, I think mostly people here understand that Ricky's a great talent. But if you don't believe that Ricky's a good talent, that's fine. That's subjective. I'm not asking you to agree with me. However, what I will say is this.
Mm-hmm.
He showed up in NXT and people went crazy for him. He showed up and people on social media went crazy for him. Now, I did a little bit of research, and I swear to God, I'll sit here on the live stream all fucking day. For every single person that tweeted me, telling me that Ricky was mid, that's not what their tweets were saying 8 months ago when they were posting Edge and Ricky. Oh, he cooked him. He's the GOAT. He's this. He's that.
Bro got booted off TV.
Yeah.
Because Tony told you to say he was mid.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Shout out to Brad Jedi for the super chat.
Ooh.
Polino Channel said Starks on NXT is must see TV, rookie or veteran. If you go to outsmart him, boom, he drops you next on the mic and in ring. Imagine Ricky NXT dominate rating. This is a lot to unpack. What I will say is this: NXT's numbers have been great before Ricky Starks. They didn't advertise Ricky Starks, so I don't expect the ratings to be massive, for today. But I do think we'll see a lot of people talking about Ricky.
I'll be honest, I don't think Ricky would have changed the quote unquote ratings behind it. I don't think he would have. I think You have to think the people that watch AEW are technically the same people that watch NXT. It's a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
So Ricky's not really going to change that. The thing that people need to focus on is Ricky becoming a star later down the road. What we know Ricky as now is Ricky Starks from AEW. Ricky Starks in WWE, just from my understanding, at least what WWE has shown me, is they know how to take and develop somebody into a star. They know how to sell merchandise. They know how to make people. Ricky Starks, I think, is a prime example of somebody. I mean, that hand gesture and the things that he does, like they can do something with that and sell that. And that's how you create a star.
Phil dropped to $4.99. He says, I think you could do Oba versus Ricky versus Trick at NXT, stand and deliver for the NXT title. I don't think that's too far of a stretch. Maybe even have him win. Yeah, you got to do some sort of triple threat or some sort of multi-man match, because I don't think anybody beating Oba makes sense clean. No. But I definitely think that's a possibility for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you got to hot shot him, put the rocket on him.
Like I said, or like you said, I just agreed with you. The Ethan Page effect. Hot shot him up the ranks.
But it's funny because we've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah, this is a conversation that we've been having.
Yeah. And
it's funny that we talked about the main event scene in NXT and how it needed to be adjusted a little bit. It looks like they want to adjust it.
Yeah. Oh, they know. They know.
Yeah.
They know. Why is it when we talk about things on a stream, why is it that it gets often fixed in WWE? I'm not saying they listen to us, but I think a lot of the things that we've identified as problems in WWE, for the most part, end up being worked on.
Yeah.
Same thing could be said about tag team wrestling on the main roster. It's not perfect, but they're starting to do it a little bit more. Yeah. NXT, the mid card's good, but not the men's main event scene.
For sure.
That's a problem. So it's like guys, we're not identifying things that are like, yeah, it might be subjective to a certain extent, but I think we have gotten really good at analyzing some of the biggest misses. And, I've been saying these things about AEW 4 years ago, and Billy was telling me I was wrong. Billy didn't agree with me.
No.
Now, years later, Billy's like, fuck, dude, you were right. The reason why Billy's doing that is because he saw firsthand that I noticed those little things ended up becoming bigger and bigger. And I'll never forget when I told you those things.
Like I said yesterday, dude, if we could just go back in our text thread and I can pull up some of the messages that I've seen years ago. I'm talking 2020, so pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a lot.
There's a lot, bro. There's a lot. I'm going to look for them, bro.
Yeah, do it.
I swear to God, I'm going to look for them and screenshot them and just throw them up here.
Yeah, dude.
Shout out to Phil for that super chat. Meat Knight 8 says, think Alistair and Rusev might be back in WWE or go elsewhere.
Yeah, 100%. Malachi Black or Alistair Black is going to be there Friday at this point.
Bro, I think I think it's possible, man.
Bro, I mean, at this point, they're just going to fucking throw him on TV.
I think it's definitely possible.
Because at this point, Triple H is like, yeah, fuck it, get on TV. We'll figure it out as time goes.
Yeah, I think
up there.
But again, SmackDown has an issue.
Exactly. So Malachi Black or Alistair Black, whatever, coming in it makes sense. Same with Miro. It makes sense. So you could just pretty much do the same fucking thing. Just throw him on TV, get a contract written up, figure it out throughout the days.
Yeah, this is I mean, as you could tell, they have a need. They need to fix certain things.
Mm-hmm. You
have some people injured.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Triple H is on the phone with Aleister Black right now.
Let's add him into the call.
Yeah, put him in. We're on his payroll now.
I just want to know how they close that deal with Ricky.
Dude.
Hey, bro, we'll give you what you want.
Closed. I don't even think the deal was closed. They were like, you're going to show up. You're going to sign.
Nah, he knew he was going.
Yeah.
He knew.
Yeah, I don't even think that shit was closed.
Just what a way to give WWE the layup.
I mean, just handed it to him. They were like, yeah, no, fucking throw him on TV right now.
Can I say something that's like probably controversial? Maybe, and I don't know. But what I think people don't understand about this whole situation, for those who are like genuinely mad about him going to WWE or these guys going back to WWE, and if you're one of those people that are categorizing these guys as like mid, not talented or whatever, not only did you have a different opinion when they joined AEW, because the conversation back then was always, wow, they're going to be treated better in AEW. So not only was that wrong, but the thing is, for AEW, just a little bit of a tidbit for Tony Khan, because Tony Khan, I think, is very incompetent when it comes to booking a wrestling show. I think he is absolutely terrible at it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think he's actually like really bad at this.
I mean, he's not good.
I don't think he's good. But also the reason why I don't think he's good is because, well, there was a moment in time where this whole thing about MJF was going to WWE and then he stayed with AEW.
Yeah.
MJF literally got a fucking tattoo.
Bet on yourself.
He literally pledged his loyalty to AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what happens. You get people loyal to you when you actually work with them and utilize them and talk to them and try to come up with good creative and come up with good plans.
Imagine if you did that for every single talent that you had that wanted to be there.
And you're not going to do that with every single talent. It's not possible.
No, I'm talking about the ones that really want to be there, that are worth your time. Because there are a lot of talent on that roster that are really worth Tony's time. Adam Cole is like a perfect example of that. Like, I would do anything in my power when his contract is up just to make sure he doesn't go.
Yeah.
Just make it's just tell fucking good stories, dude. I don't know. I don't know what's so hard about that.
It's not about stories, bro. It's about being a fucking good leader to your roster, and making sure that you could get them to be loyal to you. You got MJF to do it. MJF, by the way, I genuinely believe at this point, if MJF showed up in WWE, it would be the nail in coffin for AEW.
Oh yeah, at that point, hell yeah,
100%. Shout out to Meat Knight 8 for the super chat. Myra dropping $9.99.
This poor guy's going through it.
I don't know what's wrong with me, bro.
I see you over there, bro.
I don't know. I don't feel sick, but I feel sick. I don't know.
Well, we got a big snowstorm coming here in Michigan tonight.
I know, right?
The weather's all fucked up, man.
Something's wrong with me. And it's right before Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I know. I got
crazy.
Let's not talk about Valentine's Day.
It's 2025, and all I can think of is those 2022, 2023 super chats and whom 2K dropped the ball with. Can't wait to see who else makes their way to WWE this year and next, and it's only February. Shout out to Myra. Absolutely true. What a beautiful super chat. I mean, it's crazy.
It is.
It is crazy. I think it is absolutely fucking mind-boggling. And shout out to people like Myra, right? Myra and the OGs who've watched this channel throughout the years, who have seen firsthand. Dude, the things I'm talking about today are the things I was talking about years ago. I don't know how many times I got to say this, but it is mind-boggling. And for those who are so mad that I say AEW fumbled or that Tony Khan fumbled and AEW dropped the ball, don't be mad at me for saying it. I've been saying it literally for a very long time. I said long time ago in the company, there are tons of foundational and structural issues in this company, which will lead to talent leaving and people being upset. I don't know how else to make this make more sense. When I talk about the foundation or the structure, it's fucking a mansion. They've built a fucking mansion. Tony Khan has built a castle with an incredible roster, but the problem is this fucking castle was not built with the most heavy-duty bricks. It was built by fucking Legos, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Guess what? A billionaire in business, willing to lose money. Tony Khan is he's going to be more successful than I probably ever will be. I don't know, but at the end of the day, I've been calling it out for years. So I'm not the bad guy for calling it out for years and then all of a sudden reminding people I've been calling it out. Back in 2022 and 2023, that wasn't even the start of it.
No.
It wasn't even the start of it. Go back to 2019 and 2020. Go back to 2021. 2021 was arguably the best year for AEW. And even at that time, I said, man, there is some serious issues in the foundation of this company. And I genuinely believe with all of my heart, it completely just transpired over time to get worse and worse and worse. And that's why I say I think Tony Khan's incompetent. I don't think Tony Khan knows how to book a wrestling show. It's not about Ricky Starks going to WWE and being a big star. It's the fact that, Tony Khan has a lot of people who apparently don't like it there. And the solution is punishing them instead of working with them to hopefully get their loyalty. And, at the end of the day, it's very clear that they don't know what they're doing. You're not the shiny toy anymore. You're not the toy that he wants to play with. You get put away.
Gotta get out.
Unbelievable.
Got a 40-ounce bounce, baby.
Shout out to Myra for the $9.99. Andre Benson, he says, imagine the Pop Starks would have got at the Rumble. No.
I'm not imagining that because that's not what happened.
No, I don't want to imagine anything. Listen, they did a phenomenal job with the way they brought him in.
Poppy got on NXT.
Who?
I said I heard the pop he got on NXT.
Yeah, it was fantastic. They were literally chanting Ricky Starks, and nobody knows if he's actually Ricky Starks. I know who that is, but they're not saying his name.
Yeah. I know who that is.
But Ricky Starks has such a great promo too, because he comes out and everybody knows who I am, and he
said,
just
fragrance, the handsome face, forget it all. I'm here to turn this place upside down.
The revolution will be televised. Shit, dude.
Bro knows he's the shit.
He's got a confidence and everything about him.
Yeah, that's like, how do you get rid of that, bro? Like, this guy drips in fucking confidence. That's what he does. The fact that you let that go because God fucking over the edge, that's what got him kicked off TV. Come on,
ain't that some shit, bro?
Come on, Tony. Edge ain't that important. The dude's 60 years old, 50 years old, whatever he is.
I remember when I used to defend AEW for how they use the old people, and now I watch AEW and it's mostly old people.
Edge was in WWE and he was fine. He came back, did great. They had that big send off for him, and now he's over there burying some of the top guys. Who's that remind you of? Come on, numerous names.
Crazy,
but he's not buried because he's in NXT now and he's gonna do great.
Exactly. Shout out to Andre for that super chat. Denisha Lane dropping $4.99. Ango, Ricky Starks is on NXT roster and he's keeping his name.
Hope so.
Let's check the NXT roster right now on WWE and see if they put him in there.
Please pull it up.
The NXT debut that shocked the world, bro. They are not. I think they're gonna call him Ricky Starks.
Or they just call him Ricky.
I'm cool with that. Or they could just call him Starks.
Starks would be.
No, they can't do that because Zoe Stark.
Yeah.
But then really it's like, do you pick Ricky Starks or Zoe Stark?
Yeah, bro, and I'm picking Ricky.
They could just call Zoe Stark Zoe. All right, he's not on the roster yet.
Ricky.
They don't even got a render for the guy. So
just the NXT debut that shocked the world.
That's so unbelievable. That's how quick they
change his name.
I don't think they'll change his name, honestly. I hope I'm wrong, but
you hope you're wrong that they don't change his name?
I mean, I hope I'm right that they don't change his name.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, what?
Yeah. Shout out to Denisha for that super chat. You guys are just killing it, so I'm trying to keep up with it.
Jeez.
Cornell. Not Cornette, sorry. Cornell Bryant, $4.99. He says, so does Ava address the elephant in the room with Ricky? I think they should do something where, if Ava wants to be like a heel GM.
Yeah, bro.
They did say they did say that.
I was sitting there. I was like, what elephant in the room? And I had to think about it for a second.
Oh, you are just a cheap imitating knockoff of my dad. That shit would be wild, bro. Right or wrong?
Bro, and you can have Ava play the quote unquote Vince McMahon role from that, what The Rock did years ago with Vince.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think that'd be fire. You're a cheap imitation of my dad. Like, bro, what? You want to be just like him?
I'm just saying. You want Ava to have some characteristics, be a little heelish, make Ricky the big baby face?
Because my guess is that they want to use Ricky as a baby face. I know he's great as a heel.
No, he should be baby face.
Yeah, my guess is that they want to use him as a baby face. That guy he's so loved by everybody.
That's the issue. NXT doesn't have that. Obafemi is a baby face, but nothing about Obafemi is that much of a baby face in comparison.
Yeah, nothing really oozes charismatic.
It's not that. I don't think it's that. What I think it is, Billy, is the fact that when you look at Obafemi, he's just such a big giant, and like he's so scary, and he's so like big and huge, and like I don't think anybody looks at him. It's like the Daniel Bryan situation. Daniel Bryan was smaller, he was personable, he was funny. He wasn't expected to be the big star. you look at Obafemi, you kind of expect him to be the big star based on
yes, but just perception wise.
Yeah, so I think with Ricky, it's like, oh, he's the smaller guy, but he's charismatic and he's a great talent. He could shock the world and be the babyface going on the chase.
I like it.
You don't really see that with Obafemi. You would expect Obafemi to stand in the ring and absolutely obliterate Brock Lesnar, you know?
True.
Shout out to Cornell for that super chat. Wrestling's behind the curtain. Props to you, Hermano, with the hard work and success. We creators can't all think and like the same thing. Yeah, I mean, that's the truth, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's why this show exists.
You know, I think everybody offers different perspectives. I don't think I have seen somebody who can genuinely say with all their heart that they're mad for Ricky Starks.
No, because the argument is just about another company. It's not about Ricky Starks.
But if we're talking about companies too, like let's have that conversation as we have been. Mm-hmm. There's like it's like Penta. Penta came into WWE and people like I made fun of it on Twitter, but people were like, "Oh, he's wrestling on main event. Soon he's going to be the Speed Championship." There's literally nothing to make you believe that's actually going to happen.
I seen people. I read your tweet yesterday that you made, or what was it? 2 days
about Penta being on main event. Oh my God, he's buried. For fuck's sake, Triple H, you had one job.
People thought you were serious.
Because that's how the world works. People do not think, bro.
Like, no, bro. It's not that deep.
It's actually very insane how condescending people could be to you when they actually do not know the joke. When it goes over their head, they're just so condescending because they're just not, they're not getting it.
Yeah, they're not understanding it.
And so the thing is, they took it as, oh, I'm hating on WWE. Bro, wrestlers working main event, it's not a problem as long as they're on TV still.
It's true.
Oh man, it was so funny because I saw another content creator got some backlash. I'm not going to say who, but another content creator got some backlash because he made fun of a wrestler wrestling on Rampage. And somebody tried saying to me, well, what's the difference between Penta wrestling on main event and then Ricochet? And I was like, well, first of all, I never complained about Ricochet wrestling on Rampage, but if you want me to, I could, because Rampage was
ass.
Rampage was so ass that it legitimately got canceled.
Yeah, that shit was hot trash.
So obviously that's all you need to know.
Throw it in the dumpster. It was a fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah. Shout out to Wrestling's Behind the Curtain for the $4.99. Appreciate you. I feel like there's a couple more.
Oh, bro, there's a bunch. I've been seeing them roll in.
You guys are just killing it with the fucking super chats today, but you guys are killing it with the chat in general.
Yeah, the chat's popping off, man. I thought
Dwayne Jackson dropping a 20 banger. Let's go. With Revolution around the corner, honestly, I don't see Darby beating Moxley for AEW Championship. Honestly, I don't see Copeland either. I see Hangman or Ospreay beating Moxley. The question is, how does AEW get there? Well, there's nothing on TV that suggests those two names will get there.
Yeah, I mean, I know nothing. I mean, months ago, you could have made the argument that, you know, Darby had a chance, but now he's being off TV, and, you know, I don't necessarily know how you get there.
Unfortunately, it doesn't matter, to be honest, how they get there. I think the storyline is just so bad that they gotta
figure something out.
I gotta pivot.
Hangman, but
what have I been saying, bro, for the last several streams? Hangman should turn babyface. Somebody give him a beer. He snaps out of it. Saves AEW.
Yeah, because God knows they need to be saved.
Because, you know, if Ospreay beats Moxley, like, that's really cool, but there's not really a story arc of how he got there.
Special about it. And the thing about it is you want Ospreay to be that big baby face, so you want the chase to be worth it. Yeah. And right now, nothing screams that it would be worth it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's kind of hard to pinpoint right at this very moment.
What a strange situation, bro.
AEW, they're in a really weird situation. I seen Tony Khan right after Ricky debuted. He tweeted a match out for tomorrow.
What was the match?
I don't know. I can go look.
Dustin versus MJF, I think.
Yeah, that's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
He did that shit right after Ricky.
I'm so excited, man. Which, by the way, I fucking love Dustin Rhodes, and I've mentioned this a million times on my channel. I love Dustin Rhodes. Love him.
Yeah.
That's not what I would be doing with Dustin Rhodes on TV, and that's sure as hell not what I would be doing with MJF on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. That shit. I was like, that's how you're okay. All right, got it.
Dwayne, one thing I want to mention about your super chat, I mentioned this before, but I want to repeat it. The thing about Darby beating Moxley was if Darby wasn't trying to climb Mount Everest and he took time off of the program, I think that's very problematic because I feel like if he was on TV, he would be naturally a guy. He's one of the 4 pillars, I guess.
And then on top of that, they were telling the story at the time.
Yeah, but Mount Everest was more important than winning the AEW World Championship. So,
but he had to go plant the flag. Is he climbing yet?
I don't know when, but
yeah, I wasn't sure.
And I hope Darby does it safely. I think it's absolutely crazy to climb Mount Everest. So hopefully he does it safely and he's okay, and hopefully it all goes well.
Yeah, it's a really cool accomplishment.
Yeah, but as far as booking goes, you removed him from TV. So if everything right here is filler and they get back to Darby beating Moxley, for the moment it'll be really cool. I don't foresee people genuinely caring though after that.
I agree.
Shout out to Dwayne for the super chat. Let's keep going.
Boom, 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 boom.
Tolino channel dropping 100 rupees. He says, how will you book Julia, Vakur, Cesaria, Ruka, Kalani, Jade as stand and deliver? Also, I like Josh Briggs and Inamura, the tag team. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the women goes,
there's a lot going on with them women.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Julia versus Vakur.
For sure. That's technically like a WrestleMania weekend match.
Yep, and then the North American Women's Championship is a multi-person ladder match.
Uh-huh.
That's my solution to all the mid-card titles, just ladder match galore, bro.
just fucking throw it up in the rafters, let them climb a ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, because there's a lot of people involved in that Women's North American Championship picture.
And you want to give them all a chance to shine?
Yeah, obviously Kalani Jordan and Jada Parker. That's like the bigger story, I think, out of all of that right now.
Which one? Say that again.
Kalani Jordan and Jada Parker.
There could be something there long term.
Yeah, I think there definitely can. I think what they told last week.
I think for the women's though, it's the same thing. You just gotta let them go out there and show off.
Yeah, for sure.
And Julia and Vakur makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
From a singles perspective.
Yep. I agree.
So,
I agree.
Shout out to Tolino channel for that. Tolino says, is Billy TKO's hair on the line for a super chat? Listen, man, for Billy to put up his hair on the line, that's going to be a Billy decision. I am not making that decision for him.
All right, so look. We're not going to do it today, but what I will say, if Ango gives up 50%, I need 50% of the profits for one of the streams.
Say that again?
I said I need 50% of the profits. I'll put my hair on the line.
Brother, I will give you 1,000% of your profits.
Okay.
But
bring it on.
But that super chat thing has to be like breaking the meter, bro.
Yeah. So I need. All right. So look, here's how it's gonna go. This is what we're gonna do. WrestleMania. I can imagine we'll stream, right?
Yeah.
I can imagine we'll do something for WrestleMania. I need 100 super chats that day.
Brother, you don't know, but if you get 100 super chats, but they're like $1 or 75 cents.
Right, so look.
No. Listen. This is what we're gonna do off stream.
Yeah,
we're gonna think because your hair could be donated to charity, right?
Yes, it could. Yes.
So obviously, WrestleMania week is a very big deal on this channel. Every year, it's a very big deal. We do something really cool, and we make it a big thing. So this year, I'm gonna plan with Billy.
We'll figure something out.
If he wants to donate to charity, I'll match whatever the super chats are for charity or something like that. I'll think of something. I'll work on something. I'll plan something. But there's got to be a specific number. And I'm telling you guys, it's going to be expensive because I cannot imagine this kid ever cutting his hair.
Yeah, dude. You see that?
That shit's wild. So, anyways, shout out to Tolino channel. Appreciate you.
We'll figure it out.
LMCT says $4.99. Does it help the public perception of the recent releases of WWE signs Starks and Josh Alexander to NXT, Black and Rusev to main roster? Yeah, I think Josh Alexander is probably next in NXT.
Yeah, for sure.
Which, again, Ricky Starks doesn't solve the entire problem by himself, but you got to beef up that main event scene.
Which I think we're going to see here soon.
Yeah. What would be cool, though, What I would love WWE to do, and I know they won't do this, but they should call Ethan Page up to the main roster, and then literally like the Raw or SmackDown after WrestleMania, he's getting his ass beat, and then Josh Alexander randomly jumps the guardrail and saves him. And that's how they introduced Josh Alexander.
The North, baby.
Former TNA champion, tag team. You know, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So, but yeah, does it help the public perception? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And the people that are mad about NXT, it's not genuine. You don't look at NXT. You could say NXT has a shitty show. Like, I'm not saying you can't argue that. You can argue if you don't like the show or like the show, whatever. We're not going to argue about the business side of NXT. Literally, NXT is at the point where it's literally smashing AEW. Like, that's not.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's literally beating AEW. It's literally like, honestly, like, part of me thinks, even to a certain extent, man, if WWE really wants to be petty, you load up Evolve for the first episode. I've said this before. You load up Evolve and you try to spank Dynamite. You won't spank them, but you'll definitely cut into their stuff. And I think that's why it's interesting. And Tubi's completely free.
I'm gonna watch Evolve.
I will too, for sure.
Yeah.
So, shout out to LMCT for the super chat. Black and Rusev to main roster, maybe as soon as Saturday, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like I said,
or Friday.
Malachi's or Alistair's gonna be there Friday. You know, I seen Judgment Day was teasing a new member. They better not. But they were. So we need a new member, man. Come on,
man. It's like Shinsuke Nakamura is just not a great U.S. champion.
No.
So, like, dude, let's go.
You have Alistair Black just black mass him right in the mouth.
Yeah, and then you start building up with him and Nakamura, Black, Rusev, Carmelo, Andrade.
My guess is that these guys are on their way. After seeing Ricky Starks, there's no shot that Alistair Black doesn't show up.
Oh, I've been saying forever.
Yeah, there's just simply no shot.
There was a time too where people forget that Alistair Black was literally denying the rumors like a professional. But AEW never booked him, and when they did book him, they booked him as part of the trios, and it is what it is. But people are saying that he held back the House of Black, and then it's really strange because Hounds of Hell just had a tag team match last week, and they lost. So is it really him holding people back, or is it AEW holding people back? I'm going to argue again for the third time. I'm saying it on the stream, Tony Khan.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for those super chats. If you guys have any more super chats, get those in now. Last night, Billy, we saw the final teaser before Vengeance Day.
Yep.
They're masked up.
What'd you say? Retribution 2.0?
Retribution 2.0.
It looked cool as shit.
It kind of reminded me of Suicide.
From TNA?
From TNA, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I can see that.
It did remind me a little bit of that.
The shit looked cool as hell. Did you see not to get off track here a little bit, because I am excited for that, but did you see something that we also talked about, the Hardys and Fraxium?
Yeah. Can you believe that?
Yeah, come on, stand and deliver, baby.
Brother.
Put all 4 titles on.
Brother, that TNA partnership is...
We said it here. Just know that.
It's cool to see things happening, man, between two of the shows, and
for sure.
Honestly, that's really the big thing, is like, it's really, really cool watching the program unfold, and they're taking advantage of it. And I don't know, man. I think there's enough in NXT to satisfy every kind of viewer, which is nice.
For sure. I'll tell you what, I'm more inclined to tune in weekly now. For me personally, just as a Ricky Starks fan.
Well, it's interesting because you have like this weird love and hate relationship with NXT. Like, you'll watch it after the fact, but you don't necessarily watch it live all the time. Which I think is fine. I don't think pro wrestling needs to be viewed live every week.
No.
But I do think it's one of those things where, like, for NXT, like, there was an issue there, man. They had an issue and they needed to.
Bro, we talked about it. That main event scene just wasn't cutting it anymore.
It was I was losing my interest.
Yeah,
you know.
so was I.
And by the way, like the Obafemi, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller stuff isn't bad, but it's like, dude, like, really,
it ain't.
You could do way better.
Yeah, it ain't it for me. I'll be honest there.
Yeah. Some super chats rolling in. Right hand Cam says for $5. Shout out to Ango and Billy. This proves to me that Tony doesn't know ish about wrestling once Ricky showed up last night. Yeah, dude. I think I said it best yesterday in the stream with how to handle talents and releases and disgruntled employees.
A long rant about that.
I think I dropped some gems in that, and I think a lot of people, honestly, like, you could dismiss me because I'm not some guy in the wrestling business. I'm just a YouTuber, which is fine. But I think deep down, a lot of what I said yesterday was factual. I think I'm always gonna. Maybe it's my ego too, and I'm aware of that. But I just feel like it should never get to a point in a company where, as a leader, you are losing your employees' buy-in.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't.
That's a reflection of your company.
Yeah.
And I feel like AEW was a company that had everybody bought in, and they were the cool company culture. Yeah. And I don't think they have that anymore.
It was a great year.
I don't think they have that.
No, not anymore. And that sucks for somebody like me who was a huge fan. And you were also a pretty big fan of AEW when they first kicked off.
Brother, I watch wrestling all the time. But if you don't have a big story to keep me drawn in, I'll just watch it. I'll watch it or watch some highlights or DVR or whatever. Yeah. But when you have some really enticing storylines, like even when people would complain about SmackDown, right? Like I would say, man, like the Kevin Owens and Cody thing is really cool. It might be predictable, but at least it's like good content to watch. So I get excited to watch it, you know?
Yeah.
But that makes me also identify the problems in the mid card.
Yep.
You know? So it's like, it's things like that. Like I got drawn in, but hey, you know how you could keep me even drawn in longer? If you put Nakamura in like a really meaningful feud.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's hard. That's hard for WWE.
It is.
But we only say bad things about AEW and not WWE.
Yeah, because we're the bad guys.
It's so unfortunate.
Can't believe we do that. How could we ever shit on AEW? They are the best company of all time.
Yeah. You know, it's funny.
What?
Somebody in the chat says, do you think AEW should fold up or go for sale? No. That's the last thing I'd ever want. I want them to fucking learn how to do some cool shit. There's no reason why you have two of my favorite wrestlers in your company and you can't figure out a way to actually like give them some incredible stuff to do on TV. I don't know, man. You got Kenny Omega, who should be their final boss. He should be their Roman Reigns, The Rock, and he's not. And then it's like, oh man. What they don't realize is if you do that with Kenny and then you put somebody climbing the ranks to beat Kenny one day, that's how you create stars. But their focus has never been, it's a fundamental issue, like I said, but their focus has never been about creating stars. They don't create stars. And, you know, you can argue that Ricky was meant to be in WWE from the moment he was in NWA.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
again, it goes back to charisma.
Yeah. Some people have it and some people don't. But when people don't have it, you got to learn how to use them in other ways. And like MJF, for example, like this is your guy who.
And go, I'm getting a call. I got to mute myself for a second.
You're good, brother.
All right. Take over for me.
Yep. When you guys see like MJF though in AEW and what he was doing, he was obviously doing some really good stuff, right? When you see him doing some really good stuff, you wonder kind of a little bit as to why he's stuck around doing stuff with Jeff Jarrett and Dustin. At a time where almost all the other stories are really lackluster, you know? So that is something to keep in mind, obviously. Shout out to Right Hand Cam for the super chat. Dwayne Jackson dropping 10. He says, I would like to see Miro in TNA and keep the Redeemer gimmick. Honestly, I would never mind him going to TNA. Not at all. Like, you won't hear me argue against that for sure. You'll never hear me argue about that. But what you will hear me argue is that he should keep the Redeemer gimmick regardless of where he goes. So even if he shows up in WWE and becomes Rusev, that's completely fine. But he's got to be the Redeemer. You know, there's a lot of cool stuff you could do with that, honestly. So that's what I would like to see, personally speaking. Also, if he went to TNA, there is that opportunity for him to work NXT as well. But in terms of need, believe it or not, TNA doesn't really need Miro. NXT, SmackDown, those two shows need to beef up either the mid card for SmackDown or the main event for NXT. Shout out to Dwayne for the 10. Phil dropping $9.99. I do not want Aleister Black in the Judgment Day. I don't think they need to be together, let alone get a new member. How many times can we put new members in when the groups have been there since 2022? Yeah, I mean, you guys know this isn't a shocker. I think the Judgment Day thing has been dead for months. I 1,000,000% believe it should be over. The Judgment Day has not been enjoyable for me to watch. So it's ran its course. If they have another plan for Finn Balor running the Judgment Day and they're going to make some adjustments to it, that's fine. But I don't want to see Aleister Black in it. Because again, Aleister Black, in my opinion, should be a future world champion. Yep. The way to do that is having him kill it in the mid card. And then, like I said, SmackDown really has a problem right now. And if you put Aleister Black and Carmelo Hayes and Apollo Crews when he comes back, he'll be fine. But you got LA Knight, you got a lot of potential stuff that you could do there.
Yeah, you can make that mid card great.
Yeah. 1,000%.
All for it.
Shout out to you, Phil, for the super chats. Just making sure I didn't miss any. I didn't miss any. We're gonna keep it at an hour today. Honest to God, I don't know what the hell happened to me, bro. Yesterday, I was just incredibly weak. I don't feel like I have like a sickness. I don't feel like I have a cold or anything, but I was really weak. My body and everything was just weak. And then today, I still don't feel sick, but I still feel off. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's just my immune system or my body. I don't know. Something's completely off.
I get it. I get it.
Unfortunately, it is what it is.
Like I said, your batteries, they ran out.
Yeah.
But hey, pushing through, man. Proud of you.
Appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys all coming up. Today was an amazing, amazing stream. Vengeance Day is Saturday. What I will say is this. We have a really, really weird situation in Michigan right now. Today and tomorrow, we are expected a lot of snow.
Yeah, dude, I'm supposed to, I got invited down to the Fillmore.
Okay. For what?
I'm supposed to go there. There's it's a music related thing, but they invited me down there. And I'm like on this debate of like, even if I should go. I know this is like more of a outside conversation, but
yeah, we'll continue that after the stream.
Yeah.
But
I'm just, dude, the snow is going to be so bad.
Yeah, it's supposed to be bad, but sometimes they be lying to us, man.
I don't know though. They are saying a lot.
Yeah, I think like 11 or 12 inches
between now and Saturday.
Yeah. And then Friday is Valentine's Day. So hopefully I feel better by then. That would suck.
Yeah.
And then, the thing is Saturday though is Vengeance Day.
Mm-hmm.
So I plan, I was supposed to have plans for Saturday.
Same.
However, if the weather is bad, obviously those plans get canceled. And because that commitment came first, I have to do that. But
maybe
Vengeance Day live stream.
Yeah, maybe if I know I have some plans. I'm not sure if they will necessarily go through. Just because it is all going to depend on the snow. So if that is the case, I do have to take those first, like yourself.
Yeah.
But if not, count me in. I know I'll be watching.
Yeah, Vengeance Day, I'm going to be watching regardless. So we'll see what happens. But I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited. I think I'm really excited to see what this new group does. And then maybe they do something with Ricky Starks. I don't know.
For sure.
So
hopefully say his name.
Dude. Really quick, what is your thoughts? People are saying his new name might be Trill London. What do you think of that?
Get the fuck out of here.
That's what people are believing because of the trademarks. So just
Trill London.
I kind of like the name though. Low-key.
Absolute Trill London.
I don't hate it.
I don't either.
It's got to be Ricky Starks though.
Yeah, it has to be, bro.
But if Ricky's name is Trill London, dude, what about Retribution 2.0?
Oh, dude, count me in. I'm excited.
God, I really hope it's not Retribution 2.0.
Those guys in the damn mask.
But here's the thing: if they wrestle in the mask, those masks look kind of sick. I swear.
Yeah, they do.
So.
But yeah, count me in.
Sweet. Andre Benson dropping $2. He says, I think Judgment Day ran its course around SummerSlam. Dude, I think even before then. Yeah. I think so. I think before that for sure.
Me too.
Unfortunately, the Judgment Day thing, I think, it's
dead. It's over.
To the point, I mean, it kind of even ruined my love for like Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she's just been stuck with that for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So the Judgment Day, though, they could turn it around with, if they get rid of Liv and Raquel.
And you make Finn like a leader and make something serious of it.
Yeah. Like I'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
Finn, Dom, and JD.
Yep. I'd be cool with that too.
Maybe even change the name to Baylor Club or something.
Yeah. I like that. But
eventually Finn has to be a world champion and they got to bring back that demon character, which they will. They've teased it. So shout out to Andre for the super chat. Brian McHattie dropping 5. Is this a buzzer beater? It might be the buzzer beater. He says, could MJF's character and abrasiveness work and have stamina in WWE? Feel better and hope the snow doesn't mess everything up. Hey, it might. And thank you.
It might.
It might mess up everything.
It could
that's
ruin
okay.
Everything.
It could, but that's life. It's okay.
Welcome to Michigan.
Yeah, that's Michigan for you. Can MJF work in WWE? Yes, I definitely agree. And
hey, just slow him down a little bit.
I think MJF. I think I say this all the time. Just because he swears in his promos doesn't necessarily make him. He's just really, really good.
Yeah,
at what he does.
Agreed.
I think believe it or not, I do think MJF one day leaves AEW
for sure.
Even with that ugly ass tattoo.
Well, I mean, that's just it's a bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. Cody has an ugly ass tattoo.
Yeah, but his tattoo doesn't say AEW. WWE
brings ugly ass tattoos. Cody's got one.
You know how they blur out the middle fingers for Steve Austin? They start blurring out MJF's tattoo.
It's on his leg, or right?
Yeah, it's on his leg.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Brian followed up. He says his shtick is so repetitive. Insult the town, insult the crowd.
It is. That's the problem with MJF right now. Is repetitive.
But also too, if you look at how he's booked, I mean,
it's not his fault.
Yeah, I think right now it's
just you go with what your gut tells you, and right now Tony knows that that's something that's always worked, and
yeah,
simple.
It's interesting, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Brian, by the way, for the super chat. Thank you to everybody who dropped the super chats. Today was a massive, massive, massive stream. Recap: Tony Khan's incompetent. His loss is WWE's gain.
Ricky Starks is NXT, and he might have a new name.
We'll see what happens there.
Yep.
And I'm super excited. Hopefully we'll be live tomorrow. Again, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just feeling extremely off. So if for some reason this is something bigger, then obviously I won't be live. And that's why you guys know I won't be live. But
maybe I'll go live on my channel if Angle doesn't.
Yeah, and I'll let you go live on my channel and just hold it down.
You want me to?
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'm fine. Maybe I'm not.
Everybody saying, stop saying that, Billy. They don't want me to say that Ricky Starks might have a new name.
Yeah, he really does. Brian McKinney dropping
another one. This man don't want us to go.
Pebble Cavana.
Hell no.
They call him the Brick. Bricky Starks.
The groundwork.
Rocky Starks.
Rocky Starks.
The Rick.
They call him Wayne Johnson.
Wayne Johnson. Dude. I need to know. I need to know what they're gonna call him, bro. That was insane, bro. They didn't call him anything. The NXT debut that shocks the world. They fucking put this guy on TV without anything. Dude. I don't know. You know what's funny? I'm not even gonna lie. Pebble Cavana kind of sounds good.
Oh, imagine I'm sticking with they just call him Wayne Bronson.
Ricky Johnson. Rodrigo Starks. Dude, you guys got some funny ass names. Just call him Ricky.
Yeah, hell yeah, just Ricky. Or Starks.
Ricky Starks. Just call him Ricky Starks.
Yeah, fucking just leave him alone, bro.
Yeah. Trill London is not bad though. That's kind of a cool name.
It is cool because Trill shit it's definitely hype.
Yeah.
And that's definitely like a Travis Scott thing too.
Trill London. Skirt. Yeah, just call him Ricky Starks. That's the solution.
Just leave him alone. There you go, Phil.
Just leave him alone. Just leave him alone.
Just leave that guy alone.
Exactly. Andre says pretty Ricky. Dude, I could see them doing some shit like that too, to be honest.
So could I.
Pretty Ricky. Oh, God. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all for pulling up. Absolutely insanity. So again, thank you all.
Great stream.
Honestly, might have been one of the best streams on the Monday through Friday time slot. So
beautiful. Let's go.
Shout out to y'all.
Ricky helped our numbers.
Yeah, shout out to Ricky Starks. He's a draw.
Yeah, he's a draw for the Ango show.
Love that guy. Love that guy. Shout out to everybody. Follow Billy at BillyTKO. Make sure you guys subscribe to him and help him out. We'll figure out how to cut his hair at some point.
We'll figure out. Might donate it to charity or something.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out. Peace.